Hey, I want to talk to you about Jarrell Clark. I mean, this was a guy who got my attention. I
You
saw
remember
his work
Jarrell?
I do. I saw him in Florida on the Indies.
Oh my!
He was working for like FIP and stuff like that. And then I saw that he was getting a shot with you guys. And very early on in Fox Sportsnet, maybe the first episode, you guys had him do that 6:30. It's just a spectacular looking finish. At the time, not a lot of people were doing it. He may have been the only one or one of
Yep.
the only ones. But I mean, he had a different body type. I mean, he was a thicker dude, almost a Rob Van Dam type body type doing it. And it was something to see. But apparently, we got our wires crossed. Here's what's written in the Observer. Many in the company thought that he had changed the finish, as the original finish was supposed to be a roll up. They wanted to protect Lovett because there have been thoughts of doing something with him down the line. Terry Taylor, not knowing the finish was a roll up or any of this, told him he could do the 6:30. He never went back to management or the original agent to clear it. Supposedly, as retribution, management told Shane and Kazarian to work very stiff with him on October 5th. Clark came out of the match with one broken rib and two cracked ribs from very hard chops and kicks to the chest and a hard kick by Kazarian. Clark, showing his lack of savvy, then came home and didn't tell the story, but did address a lot on his website, saying he was feeling dejected and listed a bunch of lessons he learned at the show the day before, including don't get on the massage table, that if a second agent changes what the first agent did, make sure to report it to the first agent. He also said he was reprimanded for getting more than two moves in on a hot tag and said, everyone knows what's going on but you, was said to him in reference to the fact that a lot of the wrestlers, as well as his partner Bats, knew about retribution coming in the match, but he had no idea. He went to the doctor after the show, who told him he needed to take some time off to let his ribs heal. So naturally, because he needs the money, he's not taking any time off and working indie shots. This sounds as if he's positioning this like he got punished. I don't know how much of that's real and how much of that is just shit happens. I'm sure you've heard this story.
Now, Conrad, look. First off, I am super impressed that you know your Florida independent scene.
Yeah.
Yes. So your fandom was kind of rocking a little bit during this time.
Oh, I was paying attention in 04. I got back in 04.
I'm blown away. But no, I had look, first time I knew that Jarrell had a website. And I didn't. So he said he made a mistake by getting on the massage table. Is that basically a man of his stature in the dressing room shouldn't get on because he should leave that to main event guys? Like, what was
it sexual? I don't know.
Oh, come on. But I just like, how did he position that? Just the whole thing was kind of bizarre to me. But man, the dude, super talented, but it doesn't surprise me about the man. If I had $1 for every time the miscommunication between agents in the truck, how it happens, it's just talent to agent, agent to truck. There's always somehow a breakdown of communication, and I get it. But at the end of the day, the talent, if we want you to shoot, if we're going to shoot you, and no matter what kind of 630, 360, whatever kind of move you're going to do, if the truck doesn't capture it, isn't it kind of all for naught?
Yeah, so it's counterproductive.
Yeah. And so that's just like the hard lesson to learn that, hey, if you're going to change something, that's okay. But make sure everybody knows so we don't miss it. Oh, those were some tough lessons to learn.
It's a growing pain from becoming, respectfully, an independent wrestler to being a television wrestler.
It is. All part of
that's something that if he was just been doing independents or DVDs, that doesn't really exist there. But to be a television wrestler, you have to do that.
Yep.
So to make sure he didn't do this again, you ordered your henchman to go break his ribs. Is that right?
Hell no. Terry Taylor did. No. Relations. See, I don't remember any of that nonsense. I really don't.
Do you believe that ever happened?
No, I don't.
I'm saying, have you ever heard about it happening in wrestling? Do you think at any point, like we've all heard about?
Oh, wait,
like, the Acolytes and Public Enemy in WWE. Yeah, just
go
out there and eat them up and kick their ass.
For sure. I mean, Danny Fargo said, "Shoot me off. Go for a backdrop." And I shot Danny off and went for a backdrop. And he had no intentions of me giving him a backdrop. He punted me right in the face. Out came blood. I mean, there is absolutely receipts in wrestling.
But what I'm asking is, do you think it was? Do you think there have been hits ordered by the office? Like
Oh,
in the WWE, we were under the impression that the Public Enemy had pissed off WWE, and APA was told, "Go eat them up." And I guess there was a discussion about, hey, how are we going through the tables? Because that's Public Enemy's deals. And they didn't want to go through their own tables in the match because they were supposed to lose. And allegedly, Ron said, well, if they don't want to go to the tables, we'll bring the tables to them. And it was an ass whipping. And we've seen that a few times. Like in Memphis, who did Coco Beware beat the shit out of?
oh, there's been so many countless. Larry Latham, God rest his soul, Moondogs. He hit a job boy with those during the Moondog angle with the 1x6s and all that kind of stuff. And there was a couple of guys that Larry got aggressive with. Well, there was a tag team that came in, and Larry really didn't do anything that he hadn't done the prior 10, 12, 14 weeks beforehand. I mean, that was kind of that was the running storyline. Moondogs, back in those days, we had it called a job match. Now you call them enhancement matches. Two guys in the ring. Moondogs come in the studio barking. Richard Reed blowing the whistle. They get up in the ring. Trash cans, chairs, 1x6 boards. Beat the shit out of them. They would kind of get those 1x6s, crack it over guys' head. They would splinter. Finally, when they felt it was right and they'd used up their time, they'd pin them. There wasn't any really high spots called. There wasn't a finish called. It's just when Larry tells you, all right, this is it, 1, 2, 3, that's how they did it. But they were stiffer than hell with everybody. I forget who the tag team was. Larry came through one time and did that. And it was like, I think that was maybe on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever it may be. The guys hadn't been in the territory a week or two. Well, that following Monday, we had a Moondog Battle Royal, I think, if you will. And that is where everybody got to bring a weapon to the ring, a trash can, a chair, a chain. And we had a bunch of gimmicks back, whatever, but it was a Moondog Battle Royal. And guys would come in staggered. I think it's all that. But anyway, this guy came in and he was just hell bent that, okay, Larry kicked the shit out of me twice last week. And he took liberties with me. I'm just going to take some liberties with him. Conrad, he rolled in the ring. Eric Embry, I'll never forget this because he came back to Nashville and he was helping book in Texas. And I don't know what it was, but he got in the studio and he said, Jeff, he said he hit Larry 32 times in the face in a matter of, he timed it however many seconds. And he said they were all stiff shots. And he said they left. And Eric, I don't think was in the battle royal because he said when the crowd hushed and they knew a shoot was going on in the ring and the guy rolled out of the ring after he had beat the shit out of him. He went to the back. His partner was already in the car. He came through the curtain, got in his car. We never saw him again. So there have been receipts many, many times. Having the office say, take care of it.
Did you ever hear about that in Memphis?
No.
World class WCW?
Not really the office where the office take care of it. Many stories I've heard through the years is that the boys will police the boys. I've seen those kind of cases. I think when the office, you just kind of get into now look, years ago, I think that was the norm. You had that's where the term shooter came from. You had a pistol not a real pistol, but you had a guy in the territory who, what they call him back in the days, a hooker. He could hook you.
Yeah, a hooker and a shooter.
Yeah. That was kind of their job. Somebody came through that you thought, okay, this guy's getting a little out of hand, a little salty. Well, he's booked with the guy in the territory, and unbeknownst to him, he's about to get up in the ring and get his ass whooped, and we'll probably not see him around anymore. And that's going back 50s, 60s.